Today we are profiling our Castelvecchio Colt out of the top class mare Opportunity. Purchased from the Magic Million sale from the draft of Arrowfield stud for $325,000, this colt was on our radar from day one. He is a well-grown, mature type with great bone and a real presence about him. Castelvecchio was a record-breaking Group 1 winning 2-year-old and went on to place second in the Cox Plate as a 3-year-old before scoring his second win at elite level in the Rosehill Guineas. Opportunity is the daughter of Champion Sire, Champion Broodmare Sire, and Sire of Sires, Reduced Choice. She ran 4th in the Blue Diamond and 7th in the Golden Slipper. Such was her ability and precocity. She has passed on that ability now at scale with 6 foals to race, all winners, including 3 stakes horses. Gay, this colt is great buying, and the success we have had with horses at this particular price point is unparalleled.
The Castelvecchio colt is something very special. Firstly, he's big. He's a monumental horse with beautiful arms and forearms and chest and middle piece and hindquarters that will carry him through the distances that he's bred to race. I have next to me Parente's 2013 Melbourne Cup, and Castelvecchio, this beautiful son of Castelvecchio, could easily be running in it in a couple of years' time. Why did I love him? He's so imposing. He's got this beautiful head on him and this sort of will to get on and do things, and he's got a beautiful matching pedigree. His mother, not only a multiple stakes winner, but she's thrown good horse after good horse, quality individual after quality individual. Why will this colt be anything but? My recommendation to you is you won't go wrong. He's a very special colt.
The Castelvecchio colt, very interesting style of colt. Looked a nice tough prospect at the yearling sales, and that's certainly the way that he's shaped up to be. For what we've seen from him in the early stages, great constitution, very accepting and willing of the work that we've been giving at him this early stage, and he's really got that sort of physique that I think will handle the early 2-year-old pressures that we're starting to apply to him this preparation. Last campaign he was certainly very advanced in where we're able to get him to. This time round, would love to see him getting through to the trials and through to the races. He's got very much a 2-year-old female side of his family. And as I said, physically, I think he certainly matches that. Even though he's by Castelvecchio, he's certainly one of the more forward types of Castelvecchios that we saw. And with that, I do feel he's got the scope to be able to sort of train on, certainly just like his sire was, who was effective as a late 2-year-old, but I guess no doubt his best performance would that have been in the Cox Plate, where he's narrowly beaten. So I think that opens up a few really nice options for this colt, if he can stay that sort of trip going forward. But certainly from what I feel we're seeing in these early stages, he's sharp enough to be very effective as an early 2-year-old for us. So that's the exciting part. He's still about 4 weeks off getting through to a barrier trial for us in this particular campaign. But as I said, the way he's looking and shaping up at present, no doubt we'll be able to take him through those trials and through to the races for us.
You know, we obviously keep records of our comments throughout the prep, and he was one of few horses, because we normally take 50 or 60 horses to the sale, but he was one of the few horses that really was almost ready to go to the sale day one. He didn't actually need a preparation. He was there from the get-go. Had always had a great coat, great condition, a lot of natural muscle and that to him, and very athletic. Could walk from the start, and so he rated very highly amongst our team. Probably, you know, out of all the yearlings we had, he was always in the top 10% of horses that we took to the sales throughout all the sales, not just the Magic Millions. So we liked him. Look, it was probably a good price for him, but not a surprising price at all. I thought that he was well liked by so many people at the sales. He was one of the most inspected horses that we had, and you know, he was a natural physical. He wasn't a horse that sort of needed a prep to sort of look as he looked. He could have gone to the sales 6 weeks before he did and looked exactly the same. 3 words. I would say athletic, powerful, and professional. Athletic, powerful, and professional.
Well, as a foal, I looked at my notes before I spoke to you, and he was a beautiful looking foal. He always was, but opportunity does produce lovely individuals. She's one of those mares that is very consistent in what she produces, and even from a slightly older mare, she has still continued to produce, well nourished, big, strong foals. Just before I speak about the Castelvecchio opportunity, she had a particularly good horse called Prophet, who I still don't think we saw the best of. He was running around in group company, but I think he was a lot better. There's always hard luck stories in racing, but we never got to see the best of him. And he was a horse that you'd walk out into a paddock, and every time you walk out there, you forget who's in the paddock. You go, what's that horse? There was always one that stands out. What's that one? It was always Prophet. And the Castelvecchio opportunity was the same. Always caught your eye. What's that horse? And you go, oh yeah, of course it's the opportunity. It's the Castelvecchio. The opportunities foals, they're always eye-catching individuals. He was a very straightforward foal. I had to remind myself because he just flew under the radar, which is a good thing because it means he just kept himself out of trouble. He was a very straightforward foal. He's correct of limb. He didn't need much attention to his limbs other than just regular remedial farrier balancing the feet trimming. Just a very straightforward individual. Then as a yearling, turning 1, he had a fantastic spring, and that's when he really started catching people's eyes because he strengthened up. He had a fantastic spring. He was a standout amongst his herd. Lovely looking horse. He as a yearling, as I said earlier, he just took everything in his stride. Very amenable, biddable character. Just everything you asked of him, ABC would just do it. So yeah, he's been very straightforward through the whole prep. Really. He was. I mean, my notes on him in November read. I've got them here actually. Super strong hip, good foot placement, corrective limb, looks a sharp type. Is what I wrote. And he was a lovely horse. As they all, the Castelvecchios, you can nearly go out to a paddock and pick them out. He's a cookie cutter horse, as they say. He really stamps them as a type. Hopefully, that's a good thing. But he was definitely in the top percentile of the herd, not just the Castelvecchios, of the herd of 265 yearlings which we had that year. So I think he was purchased very well, and obviously I hope that he goes on and puts his best foot forwards for you.
Yeah, to break in, he was one of the straightforward colts that we broke in for this season. He took everything in his stride. Nothing was an issue for the horse at all, from first ride to first jump outs to first time in the pad. He's got a great mind on him. He's got a lovely stride, very well moving horse. Aaron and I agree that he could go early. We'd like to see Mr. Mature a bit more into a nice type of horse.
Yeah, basically whatever he does early, he's going to improve on. And naturally with that sire line, he's a very exciting young horse, Castelvecchio. Done deals, been doing a phenomenal job. And he's proving that he gets early horses. He's obviously had a Group 1 winning 2-year-old, but also that they go on with it, and that's what you want in any racehorse. And he looks like he's going to follow that mould, and he looks an exciting young prospect. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Really straightforward and almost like workman type. He seemed to handle everything you put to him, and he enjoyed it. He certainly was a smart horse too. He's a bit of a thinker. I do remember him. He had a little bit of a look around at times, but he just likes to know what's going on. And once he knows, he puts his head down and gets on with it.
The only thing I can really add to all this terrific content is some insight into his pedigree and genetics, which I think can give us more confidence in this colt than on top of everything else we've heard about him today. He's, of course, by Castelvecchio, first crop of that top-class racehorse, a horse that was good enough to win English Millennium, win a Group 1 at 2, win a Group 1 at 3, win top class races from 1,200 meters all the way to 2,000 meters, and a horse that was good enough to run second in the Cox Plate. And we know how successful 3-year-olds, top class 3-year-olds who've run well in the Cox Plate have done. The likes of So You Think, the likes of Savabeel, the likes of Seamus Award. So, Castelvecchio profiles as a young stallion that has a high chance of making it stud. This Colt's Dam Opportunity by a champion sire, Reduced Choice. She was high class. Her first 4 races, I think, within nearly 3 weeks, she'd won her first 2 starts, including at stakes level, and then backed up to run a close 4th in the Blue Diamond, and then travelled to Sydney to run 7th in the Golden Slippers. So she was high class. She did it on the racetrack. She's doing it at stud, 6 foals, 6 winners, 3 stakes horses. So she's been fantastic. And of course, we know that Done Deal crossed over Reduced Choice line mares has been a really successful cross too. In fact, 15% of the runners bred on this cross, 32 runners or 32 colts bred on this cross, have struck at 15% stakes horses to runners, including Done Deal's very best, or one of his very best colts in Super Seth, who now stand at stud in New Zealand. So on pedigree, all the markers point to a racehorse here, a colt here that's a high probability of being an effective racehorse. And nice to hear that since he's coming to this world at Arrowfield and right through to this stage now at Tulloch Lodge, he's continued to do well, impress people, and he's a horse I'm sure we can be really excited about looking forward running out of the Tulloch Lodge system.
There are shares and silks available in our Castelvecchio Opportunity Colt, and he'll be ready to trial in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So if you are interested, please get in touch with the team.